Okay, this is Lynda Myers, and we're at the Washington Avenue Garden, and I have a few questions for you. So, can you tell us a little bit about the history of the Washington Avenue Garden?
Well, the Washington Avenue Garden belonged to this building that's right over here at 168 Washington. It was a parking lot, actually. Years ago, this building was used by the Bureau of Land Management, and they parked their vehicles back here. Well, when I took over the building, which I can't remember, I think it was about 20 years ago, I always wanted to do something back here because we don't need the parking lot back here for the building. It has a parking lot of its own with plenty of space. So it was always just kind of full of weeds and not very pretty, and I'd always have to pay money every year to have the weeds cut down. So I thought I'd like to do something with it, and it was actually Lynda Simone, who at the time was working at West Company, and she came over to help me out with the building, and I asked her what she would suggest for back here, and she gave me a lot of suggestions, but the one that really stuck with me was it would be really neat for a community garden, she said, and I thought, oh, what a wonderful idea. But it was years before I knew how to go about that. I had no clue. I'm not much of a gardener myself, and I had no clue how to go about that. Then one day I saw an article, I guess it was a letter to the editor written by Miles Gordon, and I knew Miles, and his phone number was in there. And he was talking about starting up the community gardens, and I knew him from the college. I didn't know that he had anything to do with community gardens until I saw that letter. So I called him up, and the rest is history. He took me around to look at some of the gardens and told me what he thought they could help bring about here, and the rest you can look around and see that it's been a wonderful transformation. The labor was all volunteer. There was a man named Larry Brooks, I think his name is, who has a construction company, and he does paving, and he took up all the pavement that was here. There's pictures of it on the garden website, and then people from the CCC, which is the Community Conservation Corps, is it?
California
Conservation Corps, came and did a lot of the heavy work, and then the gardeners did the lighter work that more of us could handle. So that's the story, and here it is.
Can you tell us, how long did it take to go from the concrete parking lot all the way to a garden?
Gosh, I don't remember. I think it was just a few months. I think we started about April, and we had things planted and growing by June.
Yeah.
We had a garden here. Some of the things were added later. We didn't all have sides on our gardens and on our plots and things like that. Of course, there's still a lot more to do. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we had a garden going just, very quickly.
Yeah.
It was quite fun and amazing.
Can you tell us a little bit about how it's working with the Gardens Project in particular, and
the
how they've
Gardens
helped?
Project does all the work and has all the brains, except for the actual gardening itself. But all the heavy work they put in the big thing to me was that they brought in all the compost so that we could actually make the dirt, which was pretty much hard pan here, into a garden. And then they also put in all these pipes around so that we have water. There's, 12 or more water spigots around so that everybody can water. We have a drip system in here, which was, again, the Garden Project. And then they've just kind of nudged all of us along, I guess I would say, and it's been great.
Yeah, great. And then this garden in particular being on the south side of Ukiah, what do you think it means to the community here to have this community garden available?
Well, people have told me that, they just love it, and it means so much to them. I didn't realize, when I decided I wanted to do this, what kind of an impact it was going to have. I just thought we might as well use this for something besides just leaving it full of weeds. Mm-hmm. But actually, a lot of the people live in apartments, and they have no place to garden at all, and they just love getting out in the outdoors. A lot of them are here every day after work or during the day, whenever they have time off, they're over here. Even during the hot summer, I come over here just for a dash in, and there's people out here just working away. It's really fun. And some of them have homes and have yards too, but they still want a bigger garden. So I think it's been really great. Another thing that I think is really neat that I didn't anticipate is that a lot of the homes that are right across the creek here are sweat equity homes, and many of the people who live there are Hispanic. And many of the people who live in the apartment buildings, which are across the street and farther away, are white single moms. And I think that those people probably would have never known each other, and I probably would have never known any of them. And we've all gotten acquainted, and it's been a really nice thing. So it's really put the community in community garden.
Yeah, that's great. And then you talked a little bit about how the people in apartments, a lot of the single mothers have plots here. Well, who else, has plots here? Is it usually the people who are nearby? Families?
Yes, they're almost all nearby. Usually, most of them are in walking distance. Some of them are people who live in these homes across these big two-story houses across the creek here. A lot of those folks have big families, and they all come out, the kids, grandparents, everybody. And then the single moms come and bring their kids, and some of the gardeners are grandmothers, and they come and bring their grandkids. It's kind of a cross-section. There's just a lot of people from different walks of life, I guess. There's at least one person who teaches at Nakoma School who gardens here, and I'm trying to think who else. I don't know what all of them do. I just kind of know them from the garden. We all talk about how our plants are doing, and how we can help each other and things like that.
Yeah, and so what about you? Do you have a plot here?
I do. I have 2 little plots. Mine are kind of skimpy looking right now. They're not real lush and pretty like these. I'm still learning how to garden. This is my first ever winter garden. And the bugs got some of the things, but not as many as I first thought. But yeah, I love it. And it's kind of selfish in a way to have this garden here because I get to use it too, and it's been really fun doing that. And I'm gardening more at home too now that I'm learning a little bit about it. But I have a lot more to learn.
Yeah. So how long have you been gardening?
Since about last April, when the garden project started. I had a little garden at my house, but I didn't really know much what I was doing, and usually things didn't do very well. I've learned a lot from Kelly and Lucy and Miles, and also from the other gardeners, Susanna and Yvette, and some of the other gardeners who know a lot more about gardening than I do.
Yeah, so you guys are sharing information as well as land.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. And so what is your favorite part about gardening?
Eating tomatoes and the vegetables that come out. It was fun getting the ground ready, though. That was really fun. Even though it was hard, we'd all be out here sweating and dirty, and that was a lot of fun. But my favorite part is eating the vegetables.
Okay. Do you have a least favorite part?
Do I have a least favorite part? Gee, I guess my least favorite part is when it's really, really hot and I have work to do, and I wish it would be cooler. Sometimes I wish we had a fountain over here or a sprayer or something. Maybe that'll be in our future plans.
And then our last question is, what is your favorite vegetable and why?
My favorite vegetable has to be those little yellow pear-shaped tomatoes. I grew them last summer, and I had so many. I had thousands of those little tomatoes, and I gave some away, but to tell you the truth, I ate most of them myself.
Great. Well, thank you so much for showing us around the garden and being our Gardener of the Month.
Thank you.